By the time Abraham Politzer's children grew up, the world had become a very different place, offering a variety of careers. Abraham's second son, Illés, whom his father considered to be the most intelligent and smart, went to study in the Piarist grammar school in Pest. After graduation, he went to Vienna to study medicine, like his Köpchin grandfather Moshe Border had. He threw himself into his studies, the only distraction being the 1848 revolution in Vienna. By then, his brother Moritz was already married. Ignaz was learning to be a honey cake baker, Rudolf worked as a feed merchant in Seglid, and Adam was in his first year of grammar school. News of the outbreak of the Vienna Revolution on the 13th of March in 1848 caused the parents to worry immensely. They were worried about Illés, but received a letter from him, in which he informed them he had joined the Student Legion tasked with maintaining order in locations where the revolution had won. 2 days after the outbreak of the revolution in Vienna, a bloodless revolution in Pest won Hungary freedom too. On the first days of the Hungarian Revolution, there were anti-Jewish demonstrations and riots in Pozsony and Pest. In spite of these, the majority of Jews, including the Politzer family, shared the enthusiasm of the people. The first months passed peacefully, and nothing gave away the huge changes Hungary had undergone. At the start of the holidays, Illés returned from Vienna. The guard's uniform, the blue high-necked jacket, the coppola cap worn sideways, and the sword, which Ignaz proudly wore, greatly impressed the family, not to mention the interesting stories he told them. Soon news came that the imperial forces had set off to crush the Hungarian Revolution. The fast-growing Hungarian National Guard recruited many Jews, some 20,000 of them, according to some estimates. They played an important part in provisioning and equipping the army, and a conspicuously large number of them served as army medics and surgeons. Wanting to try his medical knowledge in practice, Illés joined the army like many others and was deployed as an army medic in the Nagyvárad barracks. Employing what were then the most modern procedures, he dressed hundreds of wounds and performed surgery. A typhoid epidemic broke out among the recuperating soldiers. Illés fell ill, and his survival was a miracle. That winter saw the quartering of soldiers in private homes and all the suffering that came with it. Abraham Politzer, like his grandfather back in the day in Köpchin, buried the family silver in the garden. The Imperial Habsburg troops shelled Pest from Buda. Countless Pest families fled from the city, seeking accommodation in the surrounding villages. In Irsha, the Politzer took in a Pest family of 6, the Kunewalder, family of the army medic Zsigmond Kunewalder, who was serving in József Bem's unit. After the revolution was quashed, terrible retributions began. Many people emigrated or served prison sentences. Haynau ordered the Jewish community as a whole to pay 230,000 forints in war reparations. Illés was spared retribution thanks to his outstanding medical expertise. He performed complicated operations local doctors had turned down, and he was appointed as a general practitioner in Hajós. Fights were common among drunken peasants, so he mostly attended to knife wounds, hand and head fractures. In those days, Jews could only marry with an official authorization. They would often have to wait months for imperial and royal officials to respond to their requests. Illés married Hermine, daughter of the Pest crop trader and real estate owner Franz Breitner, to whom he was married for 45 years in Sosutza, in inner city Pest. He set up his medical practice there. The couple had 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls. Berta, who went on to become a writer publishing short stories, Alfred, who, like his father, studied medicine in Vienna, Sándor, who followed in his maternal grandfather's footsteps and became a wheat merchant and later stock exchange advisor in Pest, and Riza, who married Béla Bedő in Nagyvárad. In his 20s, Illés Politzer fought for Hungary's independence and for creating a modern civil society. He had needed a permit to marry, but at 42, he saw the passing of the momentous act granting the same civic and political rights to Jews, making them equals with Gentiles. A few years later, following the Austro-Hungarian Compromise, Francis Joseph waived a part of the war reparations Hainauer had ordered the Jews to pay and allowed it to be spent on setting up the Jewish Theological Seminary in Pest. When Dr. Illés Politzer died at the age of 82, he was a well-respected doctor in Budapest. His flat and his surgery were in a part of town his father had needed a special permit to enter. He left a sizable inheritance to his children and widow.